Tonight, imagine the soft scrape of a pan, a single sage leaf cracking, a tiny puff of smoke that smells like a late summer field. We're coaxing a whisper of smoke from one small bundle of sage and turning it into 3 gentle rituals you can finish this evening.
Welcome back to Earthy Remedy. I'm Fiona. In this episode, pan-smoked sage salt, a cooled linen smoke sachet, and a single jar sage brown butter spread. You'll find the written recipe card and a safety checklist in the show notes. Please open that when you're ready to follow along. If you enjoy this kind of slow kitchen craft, consider subscribing. It helps us keep making these small, careful episodes. Segment 1. A small kitchen problem. You come home with a bunch of fresh sage. You trim what you need, and the rest sits on the counter overnight, losing that sun-baked perfume. There's a sadness to wasted aroma, but it's also an opportunity. I remember a market morning last autumn. A vendor handed me a small bundle, and I thought, what if a single jar could hold that day's smell? That little thought became tonight's idea.
Segment 2, Plain Science and Tradition. The science behind this is pleasantly simple. Sage leaves contain volatile aromatic oils. Those are the molecules that make it smell resinous and warm. When we apply gentle heat, small amounts of those oils vaporize and carry smoky notes. From a culinary chemistry perspective, a measured brief smoke or quick browning shifts flavor without burning the herb. At the same time, many cultures have used smoked herbs in small rituals, scenting fabrics, finishing dishes, or adding warmth to pantry staples. The evidence evolves, but for our purposes, heat concentrates certain aromatic, smoke introduces new volatile compounds, and small, controlled techniques keep flavors balanced. Segment 3. Who this suits tonight. These projects are built for plant-curious, slow-living kitchens, but a few cautions. If you or someone at home has asthma or strong fragrance sensitivity, please adapt or skip the pan smoking step. If you have infants, keep sachets away from sleeping areas. For pregnancy and other health concerns, treat these as culinary rituals, not therapeutic or medical interventions. If in doubt, opt for the no-smoke alternatives I'll mention. Safety first, enjoyment second. Segment 4. Quick overview of the 3 projects. First, pan-smoked sage salt, a warm finishing salt, about 2 to 4 tablespoons, perfect for grains or roasted veg. Second, a cooled linen smoke sachet, 1 small muslin pouch capturing a subtle smoke aroma for a drawer or a bedside corner. Third, a sage brown butter spread, a spoonable 2 to 4 ounce jar that melts on toast or steamed vegetables. We'll make tiny amounts so everything stays fresh and easy to manage. Segment 5. Recipe walkthrough. Let's begin with ingredients. I'll read each list slowly. Pause after each item to jot them down or fetch them. All measures are single jar friendly. Pan-smoked sage salt. Ingredients: 2 tablespoons coarse sea salt, 6 to 8 small fresh sage leaves, rinsed and dried, 1 teaspoon neutral oil, optional to help adhesion, a clean, dry 2 to 4 ounce jar for storage. Pan-smoked sage salt. Equipment: a small heavy skillet, cast iron works well, tongs, a small metal sieve or fine mesh strainer, a metal bowl for cooling, and a small fan or open window nearby for ventilation. Linen smoke sachet. Ingredients: 1 to 2 small sage leaves, 1 small muslin or cotton sachet, about 3 by 4 inches, a small heat-proof bowl to capture and cool smoke, an optional dried sage backup if you prefer no smoke alternative. Linen smoke sachet. Equipment: small skillet, tongs, heat-proof bowl, a cooling tray, and a patch of fabric for a test. Remember, we'll do a fabric patch test before sealing anything into linen that will touch clothing or bedding. Sage brown butter spread. Ingredients: 2 tablespoons unsalted butter, plus 1 to 2 tablespoons softened butter for finishing, 4 to 6 small sage leaves chopped, a pinch of fine salt, optional, 1 teaspoon lemon zest, or 1 teaspoon honey for a twist. Yield:
about a 2 4-ounce jar. Sage brown butter spread. Equipment: a small pot or skillet for browning, a spoon, a small sterilized jar, and a small bowl to cool the brown butter briefly. Now we'll take these step by step. I'll number them and pause naturally so you can cook along. If you're listening and not cooking, enjoy the sensory details. I'll remind you of timing and safety as we go. Pan-smoked sage salt. Step 1. Place your skillet over medium heat and let it warm for 60 seconds. You want it hot, not smoking. Hold the pan with confidence. This is quick work. Step 2. Using tongs, lay 3 to 4 sage leaves in the dry, hot skillet. You'll hear a soft sizzle and a small, fragrant puff. Watch carefully. We're after a brief toast and a whisper of smoke, about 10 to 20 seconds per handful. If smoke grows thick, step back and open the window. Use your fan to move the smoke away from you and others in the house. Step 3. Immediately transfer the leaves to a metal bowl to cool. If you like, let them rest on a paper towel for 30 seconds so steam doesn't create sogginess. When cool, crumble the leaves and mix with 2 tablespoons of coarse sea salt. If you used a teaspoon of oil, add it in now to help the salt hold the scent, but oil is optional. Step 4. Crush or pulse the salt and leaves gently in a mortar and pestle or with the back of a spoon until you see a lightly green, fragrant salt. Sift quickly if you prefer a fine texture, or leave it coarse. Spoon into your dry, sterile jar, label with the date, and store in a cool, dry place. This smoked salt will keep for weeks if dry. Just avoid humidity. Linen smoke sachet. Step 1. For the sachet, we'll capture cooled smoke rather than stuffing hot embers into fabric. Warm your skillet gently, add a single sage leaf, let it puff for 8 to 12 seconds, then transfer that leaf immediately to a small heat-proof bowl. Invert the muslin sachet over the bowl and allow the leaf to cool completely inside the covered bowl for about 2 minutes. The idea is to trap a soft layer of smoke aroma without saturating the fabric with heat. Step 2. After cooling, open the sachet and perform a fabric patch test. Press the inside of the sachet against a small hidden seam of the fabric you plan to place it near. Breathe it in gently. If it feels sharp or causes any throat tickle, skip the sachet and use dry, unsmoked sage in the pouch instead. Always keep sachets out of reach of children and away from bedding where breathing happens close to the fabric. Sage brown butter spread. Step 1. Place 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter into your small skillet over medium heat. Stir gently. After about 2 to 3 minutes, you'll hear a little popping and smell a toasty, nutty scent. That's the milk solids beginning to brown. From a biochemical point of view, those browned milk solids give us the caramelized notes that play so well with sage. Step 2. Add 4 to 6 chopped sage leaves and cook for another 45 to 90 seconds, just until the leaves darken slightly and scent the butter. Remove from heat and let the butter cool in the pan for 60 to 90 seconds so it doesn't melt the softened butter you'll blend it with. Spoon the brown butter into a small bowl, stir it into 1 to 2 tablespoons of softened butter along with a pinch of fine salt, and if you like, a bit of lemon zest or honey for balance. Jar it, label it, and refrigerate. Refrigerate within 2 hours and use within 10 to 14 days. Step 3. Serving ideas. A crumb of this sage brown butter on warm toast, a little spoonful over steamed squash, or a small smear on roasted root veg. For smoked salt, a pinch on roasted carrots or mixed into browned butter. For the sachet, a gentle drawer scent or tucked into a lemon napkin drawer away from direct skin contact. Segment 6. Storage and serving tips. Label everything with date and contents. Smoked salt stays stable if dry. Keep the jar sealed and away from humidity. The brown butter spread must be refrigerated and used within 10 to 14 days. If it develops an off smell or fizzing, discard. Sachets. Do a patch test and keep them in ventilated areas. If you want a scent-free alternative for sensitive homes, simply place dried sage leaves in a small jar and close the lid. The smell is softer, but still lovely.
Segment 7. Safety, cautions, and when to avoid. A few firm reminders. Open a window and position a small fan to pull smoke away from living spaces before smoke panning. Step away if smoke feels strong, and never smoke near sleeping people or infants. Keep sachets away from cribs, close bedding, or anyone with respiratory sensitivity. Use sterilized jars and cool fats quickly. Refrigerate spreads within 2 hours. Taste smoked salt sparingly at first. A little goes a long way, and those watching sodium intake should use very small amounts. These are culinary flavor rituals, not medical treatments. If you have specific health concerns, consult a provider.
Segment 8. Reflection and encouragement. If you made one of these tonight, pause with me. Hold the jar, or if you're not cooking, imagine it in your hands. Breathe in the warmth. Notice the resinous, sun-dried note. This is less about perfection and more about attention. Start small, taste mindfully, and adjust. You've created a little jar of season and story.
If you tried a tiny sage ritual, I'd love to hear about it. Send a short voice note or DM us with how it turned out, what you loved or what you changed. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe so these quiet recipes find you when you need them. Thank you for spending this hour with me. Listen to your body, trust the earth, feel the difference. Goodbye for now. Take care. And until next time, make space for a small ritual. That little jar on your shelf can be a tiny daily reminder of the slow sensory life.